I mean, like, I think the pace of ML innovation is faster than anything we've ever seen before.
Ah, yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
so like they're growing faster than ever before, and like even physics-based models, they have a lot of limitations right now as well. Like a lot of physics-based models can't actually predict everything that an ML-based model can even like touch on. So I think like the capability as far as like compute goes, as far as speed goes, as far as like
Hmm.
raw capability goes, will soon be. I mean, the physics-based model will be far exceeded by the ML-based tools.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense to me. Now, the next thing is your commercial agent. That one makes great sense to me. Then we get to the clinical agent side of things. This is when I get even more excited because you're talking about using digital twin simulations, and I think digital twins is a brilliant approach from, I mean, a lot of places, everything from factory design on down. But in practice, how good is digital twin simulation for individual drugs? Because to me, they could be a cool technology and maybe a tough use case. So I'm curious how well they wed, if you will.
Yeah, well, I think I mean, there's still a lot of like running digital twins is a very, very difficult problem, and I think like we're still exploring what that looks like to its fullest capability. I think like kind of where we're starting is by not trying to boil the ocean and like try to create these digital twin simulations, but more so starting with like, okay, how can you understand the manufacturing? How can you understand the patient stratification? How can you understand even the trial design? Right? These are all small components of clinical trials that might lead to to a clinical trial failing, but aren't like the whole digital twin in itself. So I think like the way that you eventually build to like being able to run a digital twin is by starting off with smaller components, and that's what we're focusing a lot of our time on right now.
Okay, so if we go from sourcing through science, through commerce, through the clinical agent, and we get all the way to a phase one trial, and you said earlier that what, 5% of drugs make it through phase one, more or less, and you get out on the other side?
No, so 5% make it to market. So five
Yeah,
percent of make it to like through phase one, two, and three.
right. Okay, good. So I may butcher that. That's what I was trying to say. When
Okay,
you guys have this full pipeline in place, how much better do you think you'll be able to do on that 5% from start of phase one through production?
well, yeah, I think significantly better. We've been doing a lot of internal backtesting, and we're going to be publishing some really cool results. We're actually publishing a paper pretty soon that'll like
Nice.
talk about specifically some of these benchmarks. So I think that's coming up pretty soon, and we'll be excited to kind of publish what those exact results look like soon. But I mean, based on what we've been seeing, there's a lot of promising results that we've been seeing by just doing simple backtesting of our agents.
Okay, so like, are we talking about like 2% better from 5 to 7%, which would be 40%? It's quite a lot. Or are we talking like 5 to 25%, like a 5x?
Yeah. Yeah, something like the latter. It'll be significantly better, and that's just because like not only are we now able to predict like just commercial success, like that wasn't too difficult before, but like also being able to look at like the actual science of this, being able to understand like out of all the history of clinical trials, how much better is it to, use this contract research organization or this manufacturing organization. Like these are all very, very small details that we can actually fully understand and understand like how that affects the probability of success of a certain drug. And I think that's where we get really excited because of how granular we can get with some of these details.
Well, I mean, that explains why you've decided as a company to sell bits of your technology to other people and you're seeing uptake from it. What does your customer base look like today? Are you selling to like the pharma companies that I can name, or are you selling your technology more right now to companies that are more in the startup realm?
Yeah, so it's not big pharma. Our most of our customers are small to mid cap pharma companies, and then
Okay.
quite a few like investment firms as well. So think like biotech VCs, hedge funds. We're starting to work with some investment banking, like biotech IB firms as well. So that's what the primary customer base looks like right now.
Founders, listen, if you've got a B2B company and you're marketing your product or service to other businesses, you need to use LinkedIn ads. Otherwise, you're wasting your time and you're wasting your money. LinkedIn isn't some random social network where everyone's using a fake name and posting nonsense. It's a network for professionals. LinkedIn knows who the big players are and who the key decision makers are in your vertical based on the data they're already collecting. Everyone's on LinkedIn. Me, you, everyone. The platform has more than 1 billion members, and that includes those 10 million C-suite executives. And that's the kind of reach you need to grow your business. LinkedIn's advertising tools aren't just throwing your messages around for anyone who's clicking. No, B2B marketers report 2.5 times higher returns on ad spend on LinkedIn compared to other social platforms. That's why my firm Launch advertises our own projects on LinkedIn. We want to reach people who are actually doing exciting work at real companies, not randos, not bots, not trolls, real executives. So here's your call to action. We've got a special offer just for Twist listeners. Launch your first campaign and get $250 free when you spend at least $250. That's one for one. Go to linkedin.com/thisweekinstartups to claim your credit. linkedin.com/thisweekinstartups.